Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the COVID-19 Daily Devotions as we are doing a deep dive, a slow journey through Psalm 23. And it goes like this: The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. Think about those first three words of that sentence. He leads me. What does that mean? What does that look like to be led? Isn't that counterintuitive to many of us brought up in American culture, in Western society, where we determine our destiny, where we are taught to be our own man, to be our own woman? Just be you, we're told. And yet the invitation of the psalmist, the invitation of the Good Shepherd, is to follow, to be led. I was studying the book of Luke a few years ago, and one of the commentators I read described the first 8 chapters of the book of Luke as Luke building a case for who Jesus is. Who is this man? Who does he claim to be? What is his identity? But then chapters 9 through 24 are all about his encounters with a variety of different people and the invitation of Jesus to follow him from Matthew and Mark and Luke and John and Peter and Andrew, but as well as others, unnamed people that some followed and some rejected. Some chose not to follow him. But you'll notice that if you read the Gospels that we are never invited to follow a set of rules, a philosophy. We're never invited to become a Christian even. What does that even mean? But over and over and over, the invitation is to follow. In fact, often when I describe myself in a religious sense, I won't say I'm a Christian. What does that mean? That means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But rather, I describe myself as a follower of Jesus. And that's not as easy as it sounds. I read this section out of a George Orwell book. It goes like this. He's speaking of Hitler. He has grasped the falsity of the hedonistic attitude to life. Nearly all Western thought since the last war, meaning World War I, certainly all progressive thought has assumed tacitly that human beings desire nothing beyond ease, security, and avoidance of pain. Think of the green pastures. Think of lying down in the lush green pastures, full and unafraid. But you notice even in Psalm 23 that is not meant to be permanent or lasting forever. Because right after we are lying in these green pastures, suddenly we are being led on a path. Orwell goes on and he says he knows that human beings, that is Hitler, don't only want comfort, safety, short working hours, hygiene, birth control. They also, at least intermittently, want struggle and self-sacrifice, not to mention drums, flags, and loyalty parades. Whereas socialism and even capitalism, in a more grudging way, have said to people, I offer you a good time. Hitler has said to them, I offer you struggle, danger, and death. And as a result, a whole nation flings itself at his feet. Now Hitler, I'm not trying to draw any comparison here to Jesus, but if there's one thing he understood was human nature. And the invitation that Jesus offers us is not always an invitation of ease and of comfort and of having all of our dreams fulfilled. In fact, anyone who has followed Jesus for any length of time will tell you it has not been an easy journey. In fact, it has often been a very difficult, heart-wrenching, confusing journey. And yet, The sheep follow because they trust him. Today I want to invite you to spend some time reflecting and thinking about your own spiritual journey. And what does it mean to really let go of control of your life and be led? What does that look like over the next few weeks as we shelter in place? As we watch the news and we think about what's going on in our world, what does it look like for you to be led? Now may the God of peace that passes all understanding guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. God bless you, beloved, as you shelter in place and as you allow yourself to be led by the Good Shepherd.